We're staying at the Navarro on Central Park South in New York, a hotel the Who have been trying to sell us for years. They own a third of it or something. We've got adjoining rooms. Jerry and I are spending a quiet evening in the global village, working on our hobbies, recreational drugs and watching television. The eternal, endlessly shape-shifting box. Its nature changes with each new drug. With grass, you want to turn the sound off and play records. On acid, everything that happens on the set is uncannily calibrated to each fleeting thought. You are TV. With coke, you talk over it, talk back at it, shoot it dead if need be. It's alive. Tap, tap, tap. Did you hear that, I ask? Yeah, man, what was that? It's something outside the window. The thing about blow is it breeds paranoia. It's contagious. There are enough demons flapping through our brains as it is without some alien entity crouching on the windowsill 40 stories up, tap, tap, tapping on my casement window. Now, I don't want to engage Garcia's alarm system over nothing, but this is, let's face it, a critical situation. It's one of those dread occasions where you need another human being to tell you you're imagining the whole thing. Although I know from bitter experience Jerry isn't that guy. Nevertheless, knap, knap, knap. Jesus, there it is again. Turn off the set, man, so we can hear the damn thing. Good. Jerry's being very sensible about the whole thing. It's probably a pigeon, I suggest. It could be anything. Oh, man, you read too much science fiction. Bang, bang, bang. Holy shit, it must be fucking huge. Jerry, we're on the 41st floor. Jerry's not taking any chances. He assumes the shield position from the high school manual what to do in case of a nuclear attack, crouching down on his knees under the writing desk. You go check it out, Rock. Oh, thanks, Jerry. And if you see my head getting chewed off by a fucking gigantic mutant mantis, be sure to call the front desk and inform them so it doesn't disturb the other guests in the hotel. But I'm not nearly as concerned about it as I'm putting out to Jerry. What, me worry? It's a game. It's something the imp of blow has cooked up in our overscorched brains. It's just going to be some bird with a broken wing or something. And when it sees me, bug-eyed, teeth-grinding giant human, it's going to be scared out of its wits. I pull back the curtain with a dramatic flourish. And there, outside the window, I see the fearsome, popping eyes, the demented, predatory grin of the fiend itself. Ah! The clockwork orange orb of a face could only belong to Keith Moon. The demon drummer of the Who is blithely grimacing back at me from his precarious perch. I pull open the window and let him in. Keith, what the hell are you doing out there? In a barely recognizable imitation of the bard, he drones, "May I please crawl in your window, baby?" Because he's so paranoid from doing blow in his room alone all night, he's double-bolted his door, forgotten that he's done it, and is too stoned to figure out how to open it. Calling the desk in this state might arouse unwanted questions, and quite logically he decides to inch along the ledge between our connecting rooms. "Come in and do a few lines, man," Jerry says sweepingly. The euphoria of relief and surprise in the room is intoxicating. "Don't mind if I do." Snort. "What about going out and creating some havoc, eh, lads?" The eyes of Moon are like asteroids of Saturn, whirring around in their own lunar orbits. They're independent entities, a sort of coke-crazed pair of quasi-human agents, an amped-up Tweedledee and Tweedledum. And both of them want to go to Studio 54 now. Jerry generally never wants to go out once we get to New York. He likes to vegetate in his room with a big color TV until showtime. New York is way too much input. It's abrasive and intimidating to Californians, especially Californians as high as we are. But Moon is fearless. He's a force of nature. He's unstoppable. Jerry loves Moon. He has an abiding affection for maniacs. Kerouacian Roman candles, the mad ones, the ones who are mad to live, exploding like spiders across the stars, etc. In the company of Moon, all apprehensions about New York vanish. Hey, don't mess with us. We're with the Tasmanian devil. Garcia is suddenly very animated. Oh, we're going out. Cool. I'll just go get my coat, so he leaves. Moon's wheels are spinning. He wants to go to that discotheque Studio 54, but he's forgotten his stash. And he must have the stuff. It's his familiar. He goes out in the hall and uses his key in the door, but naturally it won't unlock. All that coke has frozen his memory cells. Out in the antiseptic hallway with the carpet with the matching deep pile burgundy borzoi pattern, the Mad Hatter of the Who ponders to himself, how could this have happened? Let's see. I'm out of the room, but yet it's bolted, you say, from the inside. Chief Inspector Moon voice. One of them locked room mysteries is what it is. He comes back to my room. You climbed along the ledge, remember? I remind him. Fuck yeah, but what to do, eh? I'm not going out on that bloody precipice again, I can tell you that. It's a quandary, all right. While I make a few phone calls, Moon disappears into the bedroom. More tapping. This time it sounds like a giant rat caught in the walls and clawing its way out, which when I go in there to see what's going on turns out to be pretty close. There he is, the giant rat of Sumatra, busily gnawing away in my clothes closet. There's dust all over my clothing, lumps of the wall all over the floor. What the hell are you doing in there? My room's right next door, mate. You're going through the wall? Whatever alternatives do you recommend? Jesus, Moon, it's only drugs. Only? You should hear yourself, Scully. Can't we get more of whatever it is, man? What is it? Ibogaine? Extract of Madagascan tree toad venom? He doesn't hear me. He's a man possessed. He's stripping the plaster off the wall with a buck knife. He's got that mad Jack Nicholson with an axe look. Here's Johnny. He's a miracle of enthusiasm. Now he's got the plaster off and he's down to the lathe and the bricks. Won't be a moment, he says, and splits. Am I being too optimistic to think he's abandoned his nutty project? Gone to raid Pete Townsend's stash? Most probably. But no, it's too good to be true. He goes downstairs to the basement and comes back up with a chisel and a hammer. He's taken the bricks out one by one. I own a third of this hotel, you know, he says by way of explanation. He's going, God, I'm gonna get in so much trouble for this. But he doesn't care. He's pounding away at it. He's determined to get back into his room and get his drugs. Jerry comes back and goes to take a look. He's standing there looking at this devastation. What? Jesus, Moon's turned into some kind of human mole. Finally, the hole is big enough. Moon wriggles through it, gets his stash, and crawls back through the hole, once again forgetting to open his door. He's now covered with dust from head to toe like a ghoul recently exhumed from a graveyard. Later on that same night, Captain Gas shows up with one of his monstrous tanks of nitrous oxide, a G tank. It's over 6 feet high and is so heavy it has to be wheeled in on a hand truck. How, you may ask, would you get such a massive thing through the hotel lobby? It looks like a small bomb without someone stopping you. But he's had years of experience at this, wheeling G-tanks into hotel lobbies covered up with a raincoat and a hat on top, pretending it's a drunk friend, hugging it and getting it into the elevator before anyone noticed that it's not a human being. I can't picture it either, but somehow upstairs it goes. We all suck on the plastic snakes until it's almost dry and starts to freeze over. At this point, you've got to heat the tank up again. So we drag it into the bathroom, which we very rapidly destroy. The fucking thing is so unwieldy. The shower rod has collapsed, and the shower head is bent. Tiles are smashed. Finally, we get the shower on it, full on hot, and it starts to defrost. It's a little precariously balanced, the bottom of the tank on the edge of the tub, but no matter, it's working again, dudes. Phew, going out on the town with Moon is like spending an evening with Harpo Marx. He's a magical creature. Perhaps it's that clown face of his, like the Lord of Misrule. Wherever he goes, he turns the world upside down. Here he is, pinching girls' bottoms, requesting autographed panties from them. Stuff that had Jerry or I tried would provoke a smack across the face. But Moon gets just the opposite reaction. They love it. Telling their girlfriends, boasting about it. You're not going to believe this, Cheryl, but Keith Moon just pulled down my panties and bit my ass. Lufthansa Flight 607 to Munich. It's just a short hop, maybe 40 minutes. What could possibly happen on a 40-minute flight?